On a personal note, have you ever noticed that it's always the short ones that follow Rob? So thank you, Rob. We are proud to sponsor today's keynote presentation and help celebrate all of the 2017 economic champions being recognized today. What makes AmeriQ an economic champion? Comes down to three things that I think we all want to experience: growth, expansion, and investment. To date, in 2017, AmeriQ has added more than 6,000 net new members. We've expanded our footprint in the village of Fayetteville with the opening of a satellite location in the new resort lifestyle retirement community, and we've invested heavily in our brand and our people. But at the end of the day, it's not about how much AmeriQ invests internally, but how much we invest in our members. We serve over 125 members with the same focused commitment we've had since we started back in 1950. We continue to invest in our communities with local scholarship opportunities, and we've provided more than $120,000 in support of local charities and community activities so far this year, with more to come. Valuing our members, connecting with them, working to improve our communities. That is our reason to exist. It's what AmeriQ is. That is also why AmeriQ supports CenterState CEO. We recognize the value of economic development and all the benefits it brings to our communities and our members. And it's why we support Coach Q. He knows what it means to provide value and to inspire others. We are excited that he's with us today to be able to give us some insight into his leadership, his motivation, and his engagement with the same community that we all share. So on behalf of AmeriQ Credit Union, I would like to welcome Quentin Hillsman, head coach for the Syracuse University women's basketball team. Coach?
Well, first of all, you're in charge of all pregame speeches. Amazing. When you can get people to get toward a common goal, that's what it's all about. And you've done a remarkable job in just guiding this vision. And I know when I first got here, one of the things that you do when you're trying to build a program is all about recruiting. It's all about getting players into your program. And what you guys do here, and as far as developing Syracuse and the business owners and all the attractions in the area, it means so much to our university. Because the first thing that you do when you bring a player on an official visit is you drive them through Syracuse and you show them the community. You show them what's around the university. And it's been just remarkable. This is going into my 11th season. It's amazing thinking to be somewhere for 11 years. I've definitely outlived the life expectancy of a coach in one place. But to be here going into my 11th season and just to see the growth from day one to now is remarkable. And it's really due to you guys and due to your commitment of making Syracuse a desirable and a great place. And it's just a remarkable place to work. It's a remarkable place to raise a family. It's a remarkable place to recruit players to, because we know that at Syracuse, in the city of Syracuse, and Syracuse University is more than just a university. It's about the community and the people that's around it, and you guys are remarkable, and we can't thank you enough at the university for all the hard work and dedication that you put into making Syracuse great. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. I want to start off before I even get started, just to recognize our AD, Mr. John Wildhack. He's here with us today, and what he's done in his short time here has been remarkable, and just wanted to recognize Mr. Wildhack as being here. I think Kim Keenan Kirkpatrick is here somewhere, our Deputy Athletic Director, and she's responsible for for everything that we do on a daily basis and making sure that our program runs smoothly. Want to recognize Kim. I think she's here somewhere, and also Cedric Salas, our director of program management. Without him, I wouldn't be here right now because I probably wouldn't have remembered to be here. So he's really the boss of this thing, and can't thank him enough. I think that one of the things, just take it from just listening and being around this event and honoring all the people here in this community, I think the one thing that's very evident in what's going on is that you guys love the process. And I think a lot of building a business, building a program, and building anything is that you have to fall in love with the process. We're definitely in a generation of entitlement and right now. And to grow a community, to grow a region, and to do the things that you guys have done, it's definitely about loving that process, because nothing comes easy when you're trying to build something. And I always tell our players, you have to love the process more than you love the result, because you're never going to get to the result if you don't love the process, because it's always hard work. It's never easy starting something. And I remember my first year here, we were in Manley Fieldhouse. And by the way, I'll give you this brief story on how I actually got here. It's a true story. It's not going to sound real, but it's true. I come here from University of Alabama, and I interview here. And one of my former colleagues was an assistant coach here. And so I fly in. It's 10 years ago, very, very mild day when I fly in April. And by this time, I had a vacation plan with my wife, and we go back in 4 days. We're going to go on vacation. We had a cruise, and we all know that cruises are what? Non-refundable, right? So I didn't think this through too well before I came to Syracuse in April. Didn't think it could possibly snow. So I come here, I have my suit, I have one change of clothes, and I'm staying with they said, we put you in a hotel. I said, no, I'll stay with Matt. So I stayed with a friend who's on the staff. Be easy. I'm in and out of here in about 18 hours. It's going to be easy. I come through, I go through campus, and it was just everything that I had thought Syracuse would be. Seeing the dome, it was just breathtaking. It was overwhelming. Go home, we have dinner, wake up in the morning, it's a foot of snow. Okay, it's a little different. So, okay, we're going to work through this. And Matt says to me, the airport never closes. They clean the streets up. The snow removal is so good. Queues this never happens. Okay. So we go through the day, and it's snowing at 9 o'clock, snowing at 10 a.m., snowing at 2, snowing at 6. So I'm looking at him, and we're sitting in the house, and I would remember like it was yesterday. He ordered Dorians to take out. So we had some pizza, we had some wings, and everything. I was like, man, this food is pretty good. So I was kind of getting my mind off the snow until I look outside, and I said, Matt, where's your car? Did you move your car? He said, no, I live in a snow belt. I said, what do you mean a snow belt? Like, what is that? He says, well, that means that we get the most snow in this area. Still a little confusing because this never happens here in April. So 2 days later, I call my wife. I say, hey, 2 days later, call my wife. I say, did we get the cruise insurance? She says, no, why? I said, it's like 2 feet of snow here. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get home and go to this cruise. She says, you tell Matt that if you don't get home, you're definitely not taking a job. So that was my welcoming to Syracuse. The other thing about it is I'm from Washington, D.C. So if you're from D.C., you're a Georgetown fan, right? So I'm a Georgetown fan. Careful. I don't like Georgetown anymore. And I called my uncle. I was very excited. I said, hey, Unc, I got the job at Syracuse. He goes, you can't take that job. Are you crazy? So that's how deep the Georgetown-Syracuse rivalry runs. And now I kind of don't like Georgetown. So it is what it is. So I understand. It's all about commitment, right? So, and one thing that we talk to our players about is just being vested into your product, being vested into what you're doing. And I think that as community leaders, you guys understand that it's all about making the people around you feel engaged, to feel vested, to feel like they have a say and a stake in what you do. And one thing that we tell our team all the time is the harder you work, the bigger the payment. And I think that's in anything in business and in life. The harder you work and the more you put into it, the bigger the payment. And when you talk about hiring, I know that we all in this room hire and quote unquote fire, but my philosophy is I hire not to fire. Because I really believe that if you hire people and put them in the areas of their strengths and allow them to do their jobs and allow them to have a voice and allow them to lead something, you're automatically vested in it, because the success and failure totally hinges on your part in the total process. So when I'm out and we're trying to get new hires or we're recruiting, that's so important to try not to make those mistakes and try to engage everyone in the process. And I think that as you go through it as a team member, as a part of a unit, you have to buy in and you have to deliver your message of your team out to the community. There's no way that everyone in this room that has a company and all these great companies and different entities in this ran here that everyone goes into a meeting with the same idea and leaves out with the same idea. It's just impossible. But I really believe that it's really about your delivery. When I was coaching at the University of Alabama, I coached for a gentleman named Rick Moody. He was amazing. He was there for, I think at that point, like 19 years. Remarkable coach. Went to Final Fours, won SEC championships, and he really, his thing was, I want to switch all ball screens. And this is something that you're saying for the non-basketball enthusiasts. I'm going to put somebody who's 5 foot on somebody that's 7 foot. It doesn't seem like it's possible for that to work. So as we go through the process, he said, Q, you need to teach your guards how to switch ball screens. I said, no problem. So I had our point guard, name was Latifah Joy. She was from the Bronx. And we were ready to play LSU. So those of you that just watched the WNBA Finals, which hopefully you all did in this room, Sylvia Fowles was the center at LSU, and she's 6'6". Right now she's an Olympian, 2-time WNBA champion. You get what I'm saying. She was fantastic. So I said, Teef, listen, when they run the ball screen, you got to get low, put your forearm in her back, drive her up the floor, don't let her pin you to the basket, and you have to make sure that whatever happens when she catches the ball, that you have to make contact. So she's looking at me, she's going, okay. I said, no, listen again. You got to get low, get your forearm in her back, and you really got to drive her up the floor, and you have to make contact every time she gets a catch. We play the game. Works out okay. We lose the game by 1 point. We played a fantastic game. Fast forward to me coming here. As soon as I got the job here, the first person I hired was Rick Moody, because I wanted to hire someone who had some experience, who's done it at the highest level, Final Fours, Elite Eights, all conference players, so on and so forth. So I hired Coach. I said, Coach, we're going to work on some ball screen action, so you have the guards. And I said, but we're not switching ball screens. He goes, what do you mean we're not switching ball screens? I said, Coach, I just don't want to switch ball screens. He goes, in a Rick Moody voice, but you loved it at Alabama. I said, no, I hated it. I thought it was the worst idea ever. He says, but you made it seem like you really believed it. I said, that's my job. It's the delivery. Because if I would have said, hey, Teef, listen, you got to get your forearm on her back, and I just hope she doesn't drive you into the band when she catches it. The first possession, she'd have got driven into the band. Because it's really all about your delivery. How do you sell? And I think that when you go into homes and you go into businesses, you go into the community, it's all about your delivery. Prime example, we have, referees are always wrong, but they think they're right. They're always wrong. They never make the right calls. Had a ref decanter. She's WNBA, first woman to coach to ref in the NBA, and we're playing a game, and she comes down the court, and it's an awful play, obviously, right? She goes, charge. I said, D, that's not a charge. She goes, charge, charge. I go, no, there wasn't a charge. But it's the delivery, right? She made you believe that it was actually a charge. And I always tell people, and I tell our players, I tell our staff, it's really about how you deliver things. It's how do you leave a room when you have a meeting, or how do you leave a room when you're trying to decide on something and leave out there with a common message and a common goal. It's the buy-in. And whether you believe in it or not, whether it was your idea or not, you have to come to a common ground with yourself to be able to sell the same message to obviously reach the final goal, which is success, prosperity, development, growth, because at the end of the day, it has to be about something that's bigger than you. And we can't go into situations thinking that it's about us. When we go into a game, I tell my players and I tell our staff, and we understand, it's about Syracuse. It's about the community. When we went to the Final Four, went to the championship game, the buzz in the community, they showed it on the screen. They showed the bars, they showed the restaurants on the screen, and we were just blown away because we had never seen that before in any of our time here, in any of our games, and just that alone, and the growth and the notoriety that it brings to the area, like a Wegmans, like a Destiny, like the businesses that are here. When you look at what's making this place drive and thrive and grow, it's you guys. And all we try to do in Syracuse is just do our part. And we always talk about energy, effort, attitude. We played Notre Dame last year, and we were trying to break the attendance record that was previous, like 3,800. We had 11,000 people in the dome, and it was remarkable. Thank you. And a lot of you guys bought tickets. A lot of your companies bought packages, and it was just tremendous. And all I have in my mind is on Friday night at 7 o'clock when Clemson comes to town, if we can get about 60,000 people in that dome, can you imagine? Because we didn't have a chance to beat Notre Dame, but it came down to a one-possession game, and it's all about your energy. And I'm telling you, Friday night on ESPN at 7 o'clock, nobody's going to bed Friday night at midnight because we're going to blow them out, and we're going to turn this whole season around with that one game. And we need you guys to pack that dome and come out there and make that a reality, because your energy is what it's all about. I want everybody to, before you leave, you can do it now. At every table under your dessert plate, there's 2 tickets to the game. Get your tickets, come to the game. If you're not going to come, give your ticket to somebody that's going to come to the game. And let's make that place remarkable for Dino and the guys, because they work tremendously hard and they get after it. So let's make sure we pack that dome on Friday night, 7 o'clock. I'm going to close by talking about preparation. And the one thing that we talk about before games is preparation. And I see it like this. Preparation leads to confidence. Confidence leads to execution. Execution leads to success. We talk about that all the time, and I was reading this article, and it was talking about worrying and stress. And I really found out that when you prepare and you're going into a contest or you go into a game, if you are prepared, you don't have to worry. And all the things that worrying leads to isn't healthy. Lack of sleep, stress, anxiety. And I came up with this, and I saw this in an article, and it makes perfectly good sense. Don't worry, okay? If you have prepared and you have and you have exhausted all possibilities and all schemes, why worry? Do you have a problem? No. Then why worry? Do you have a problem? Yes. Then why worry? Do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then why worry? Do you have a problem? Yes. Can you do something about it? Yes. Then why worry? Life is so different when you don't worry. And when you prepare, you don't have to worry, because at the end of the day, every problem has a solution. Every solution has an origin. And anything that starts, it originates normally with you. So why worry? Put yourself in a situation to where you don't have to worry. And I think that what you guys have done here, and seeing you guys in this facility right now, and how you've grown from being downstairs and being here, I don't think that Syracuse has any reason to worry. Thank you guys so much.